Hello everyone, welcome back to Elliot's Tools and Projects. So as you can see in front of me, we've got some Milwaukee power tools. These were my top 5 power tools of 2025. As you would have seen on my Instagram, and if you don't follow me already, I will drop a link down in the description. So I just thought I'd jump on here and do a bit of a longer form video to explain why these tools were included in the list. So we will get into it, and first off we will go with the M12 3/8 high-speed ratchet, and the model number on that is M12 FHIR38. Now I know obviously Milwaukee are bringing out their new ratchet, so they're doing away with the paddle and it's got a different switch here, but I think you still can use a paddle if you prefer that. But I picked this up last year, been after it for a while, got a good deal, so I picked it up, and it's one of them with Milwaukee power tools. You can never stay up to date unless you've got an infinite amount of money, so this will do the job for me. I don't get used all the time, as you can see by most of my tools, but it's a great little piece of kit, mainly for like service work on vehicles, stuff like that. You can get into tight spots, and even if you're doing, could be anything, where obviously normally using a hand ratchet you could be at it all day, whereas this just, you can get it whipped off in no time, like say the high speed, so you can get it done in quick time. Got a 2.5 high output battery on it, keeps it nice and slim, lightweight. So I had to include this mainly because it was the one of the recent pickups and been after it a while. So that is the first tool on the list. Next up, we'll go for probably one of the ones I've had the longest, I'd say, which is the M12 inflator. Again, great pieces of kit for pumping up your car tyres, van tyres, whatever tyres you need to pump up, or anything you need to pump up. In fact, it comes with, on the back, you've got a couple of different nozzles, so you can pump, footballs up, or out that you need to pump up. Hose wraps round nicely on this little plastic clip on the back. If we turn it on, you've got a nice digital display. I've kept the plastic cover on the screen just because it reminds me that by pressing that you can change it from kPa to PSI or bar. So obviously you just press your pulse up to whatever you need, and then press that button down there, and that's your inflate button. So you can see it at night and stuff like that. Nice lit up display, and I run a 6.0 battery in that, and again, this lives in the boot of my car, so if I ever need to pump a tyre up or help anybody else out, I can just pump that up for them, and it's nice and small and compact. I think down the line I will probably look at getting either the M18 inflator, just because there's a couple of bigger things in the fleet that be quicker to pump them up with one of them, or potentially a compressor, but they're both on the list for the future. We'll see which one happens and which one comes first, but everyone needs one of these, I think. Just handy to have, whether you keep it in your car or your workshop or your van or whatever. So that's also on the list. And then next up, we will go for the first M18 tool on the list, which is if we can get it in frame, the M18 Fuel Sawzall. So there's your model number on that one. In fact, see if we'll just quickly grab the model number on the inflator, M12BL for you there. Forgot to do that. So yeah, amazing pieces of kit these. Whether what you're doing, whether you're cutting, wood, or whether I know I shortened a mezzanine floor recently, and I use this to cut the steel girders with the right blade in it. Went through it like butter. So this is the fuel version, like I said, with one key, so you can set the speed it runs at, and you can obviously control the tool and keep, you know, track the tool with a one key. So just a nice little added feature. You've got your trigger lock at the top there, which is handy. You've got a big, nice little metal hook on this side, so if you want to hook it on something while you're working, so it's not in the way, you can do that. Absolutely amazing. So glad I picked this up, because I used to borrow one all the time. So I picked my own up because it's so handy for so many different things. I've used this for chopping trees down at home, cutting the steel girders, cutting wood, cutting metal, all sorts, plastic, everything. There's no, it's a very handy all-round tool that'll do, with the right blading, that'll do pretty much what you want it to do. So that had to make the list, because it's probably one of the most used tools, to be fair, out of them all. Next up, we will go for the second M18 tool on the list, which is the, once a newly released now, but semi-new M18 precision blower. Now, I'd been after a Milwaukee blower for ages, and I was going to get the new Gen 3 single battery, but this one's much better for me. Use it for blowing down tools because it saves me rigging the compressor up, drying, you know, intricate bits of cars off when I've washed them and stuff like that, cleaning cars out, cleaning the back of the van out. It's got loads of different uses. Nice and compact. Got a 3 amp hour high output battery on it. There's your model number on it. Absolutely cracking little piece of kit. Pre-ordered this, and when it come out, because it is the perfect, down the line I might look at getting, you know, a bigger blower, but for now that does the trick. Absolutely, you've got your filter on the back there. Absolutely cracking little piece of kit. And then finally, by no means least, because again, this is probably competing with the Sawzall as to most used tool, the M12 fuel brushless impact driver. There's your part number on that. This is an absolutely great little tool, whether you're screwing timber, whether you're doing interior work in a car, whether you're putting up something at home, in the garden, don't matter what it is, you can stick your bit straight in there, you can stick, you know, an extension in there, you can stick an adapter in and put sockets on, you can stick, you know, out you want in there with the hex adapter. It's got the nice lights on the front so you can see what you're doing if it's dark. Very small and compact, like, see it in my hand, you get a nice good grip on it. Again, 2.5 high output battery. I am going to swap that for a 5 amp high output battery, just so I can stand it up. Obviously it does stand up on those batteries, but if it's a bit uneven, obviously the flat bottom batteries are a bit better for that. So no, absolutely, I'd probably say this is the most used tool, shortly followed by the Sawzall. Absolutely great piece of kit. Touching on the M12 range briefly, the M12 range, personally, anyway, for me, is absolutely great, because you don't need the big tools. Obviously this, I'd go for the M18 Sawzall over the M12 one, but overall, the M12 range packs a right punch for the size of the stuff. I'm going to look at getting an M12 SDS this year, just for doing, you know, when you're doing plugs and stuff, just got a bit more oomph than sometimes. A tool that just missed out on the list is my M18 Gen 3, I believe, hammer drill. So it just, sometimes it's a bit much for that. So I'm going to look at getting an M12 SDS, I think, to add to the collection. And like I said, the rest of the M12 range, absolutely fantastic for price point, the size of it, the power it gives, etc, etc. So that's it, guys. Just thought I'd give a quick overview of all the tools and why they made my list, etc. So as always, great quality from Milwaukee. You know, everybody has their brand. Milwaukee's mine. The battery platform, etc. Great. Everything's integrated. It all works together. So thanks very much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Maybe tell me if you've got Milwaukee tools. Let me know what your top 5 were, or even just your favourite tool, whatever it may be. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.